Three. So, welcome again. Do you ever sit down and think that, I want to live life beyond stress and anxiety, or I want to continue? Do you want to think, speak, and act from inside outside? Do you like a state of relax and calm, or you want to get excited all the time? Excitement is a form of hesitation. Do you want the world to live in you or not? Do you want to experience a state within you that lives in the world but not the part of the world? If we are not the part of the world, we can recognize that all problems are problems of the world, not you, not yours. And in order to do that, the mind must undergo a change. And the mind undergoes a change only by repeat listening and learning, repeat contemplation and reflection, and repeat practice. You pick up one, I told you, Shanti mantra, you continue doing it the moment you wake up in the morning and you continue. And during the day, some anxiety comes, it is in relationship to the world, and you are reciting, oh, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. So you can definitely reflect on that, relax and calm inside you. You will experience that as if the problem is outside, not in you. So, our 8 steps, these 8 steps, what I should say, these 8 steps awakens me how to relate as an individual to the world, an individual and the world to my real self. It will help you in your personal life, in your professional life, in your social life. Definitely, it will help you. It will help you. Eastern wisdom does not teach you to leave the entire world, but to have a harmonious relationship between the individual consciousness, universal consciousness. Now I'm changing the tone, you see, and the supreme consciousness. Supreme consciousness is the real self, universal consciousness is the world outside, and the individual, I act as an individual. You separate. I'm just giving an example. You separate clay from the clay pot. It is not possible. You separate the space from your home, from your highways, from the skyscrapers. You cannot. No one can do it. So it means that I have to relate. I have to see what is my relationship to the world. These 8 principles, 8 steps, helps you to start living a life of calm and peace and the joy every day without any challenges. You will have challenges, lot of challenges, maybe the physical illness, maybe a relationship, but you are able to maintain that poise and that calmness. These 8 steps in turn help you your personal, your professional, your social, your family life. No, he doesn't understand. Let him not understand. My master used to say that, okay, your honey does not understand. Yes. So master say, if he or she does not understand, why you are obstinate? You are forcing him or her to understand. Leave him and her alone. Do you feel that you are smarter than everyone in the world? Why don't you leave it? Why don't you find the calmness in you? But we don't do it. Why? I'm more intelligent than others. You see that? I'm more intelligent. I'm smarter. What happens? The mind has taken the role of the ego, delusion, foolishness. I have yet to talk 5 types of foolishness. We'll understand that. Do you see that? Ah, my boss is crazy. He doesn't know that. You know it, you do it. But I'm not as highly paid as my boss. No, you do it in order to gain perfection in what you do. It will help you in the future. These are the 8 steps. Just if you contemplate and reflect on each step, study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. So I have understood myself. I go to the office. What is my duty? Oh, let me perform my duty to the best of my ability. Discharge. Let me find out, can I learn something new? I'll tell you a very simple story. There was United Nations drug prevention program long back, and perhaps in 1991. So the secretary in the health asked me that, can you go there and help 123 prisoners who are opioid addicts? Plus 1 5. I said, yes, I can do it, but give me 1 week. So he said, no, you have to send me a proposal. I will send you. I didn't know anything about this drug addiction and substance abuse. In those days, internet was not available. I spent National Medical Library. I spent about a week, day and night. I read everything. I created a proposal, submitted it. It was agreed. I was a small officer in the government, but the stature goes up. That is the way to get rid of your anxiety and hesitation. Never leave working on your profession. Never try to gain some more. And that is one of the main criteria for my immigration to US, because it was United Nations Drug Prevention Program. So, oh, he has done that. That is one of the criteria. So it is the second one that I should continue to work what is right, good, and proper. That is karma yoga. That I should not build up the ego that what I do. Why? Because impurity of the mind. But at the same time, you are relaxed. Oh, existence has offered me an opportunity and I have done it. In 90s, I was not fully aware. I was learning this Eastern wisdom. And then I said, yes, it happened. So maybe same thing here. We don't think that. So the third step is already done. Now the fourth step What is the fourth step? Every day, which causes you the anxiety and hesitation and the duality and the conflict because of the past impression, because of the past habit, because of, I use the word obsession based desire, pleasure based desire, need based desire. So that mind is going to confront with you every day. What the heck, why don't you understand? Hold on, let me understand that it is very difficult to make you understand. So let me understand. Let me be calm. Are you getting it? It's so simple. So now I am calm and I'm working with you. You are not discharging your work. Oh, can I extend my hand? Let me do it. Let me learn this also so that, I will be independent in my professional and social activities. I don't have time. No, you have time. You don't have time because of the pleasure based desire. You can find out, you can think of it and come back. But why we are doing it? I'm reminding you, I have to create a wonderful relationship. Three factors: individual consciousness as an individual, universal consciousness, the word outside, supreme consciousness. So these 8 steps helps you to live in harmony, and that will prepare us for awakening to the second level. So you see the purify. So once I recognize that it is a pleasure-based desire, which causes the conflict. Did you understand that pleasure? Let us do it reverse. Whenever you feel anxiety, duality, conflict, you are agitated, it is because of the pleasure based desire. Give me any cause of your anxiety. He doesn't understand. So, my expectation that whatever I'm saying, you should understand. Pleasure based desire. You give me any state. Because that teaching of the master has went so deep inside that I said, okay, you don't listen. Thank you. You listen to it. Thank you. So, what is happening? In both the cases, you are saying thank you. So what has happened? You have purified the mind. Now your mind is relaxed. These steps are not as challenging as we think. The more you contemplate and reflect, and you will find, oh, it is just a casual. My mind wants to insist. Now let us sit and discuss. Why I want to discuss my pleasure-based desire should be fulfilled. Think of it. I can bet you you will recognize it. You will recognize it. And once you recognize, you will have a joy inside. Oh, I recognize it. Mind, what are you doing? So that becomes the fifth step. Learn, act, offer. I use the different words. Learn, act, offer, recognize and change, and purify. So purify means, and then discern. Discern, realize, and experience the freedom. Experience the freedom. Day before yesterday, I was in the operation theater, and so, the nurse, medical assistant, she was very much worried, because, heart rate is okay. I said everything is okay. No, 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 I have to check it. So I asked her that, do you have any machine which is 20, 30 years old in your house? So she might be started thinking that what he is asking for. I said, this is 66-year-old machine. And she started laughing. So I said, now you are relaxed. Now you take care of me. How can you take care of me in anxiety and duality? Purify. That is one example of the discernment. Realize once you have a discernment, you recognize clearly, you see separately. This is the delusion, this is the desire, pleasure based desire, this is the need based desire, and done. What happens? You experience the freedom. Our goal is to recognize and realize that real self, and this is the foundation. So now, can you ask your mind that why we have a wrong notion? One should go into the retreat, 5 days, no smartphone. After 5 days, I complete working on the smartphone, which I have not done for 2 years. That is my retreat. It will not work. It does not work. Do you think that? I have to change this mindset. I may be referring these 8 steps again and again. That is why I'm trying my best to talk to you, to give you the best. That is the only intention. Why? That is the only intention, because that is what the intentions of all the masters over the last 10,000 years. Let us give you the best. In the ways it is possible. So that why? Because if you get it, you will also start changing. You will become the center without ego. You will become the center of the evolution. You will help others to evolve. You are not obstinate, you are helping others to evolve in your family. Think that way. Again, that is why I'm bringing the three: individual, universal, and the supreme consciousness. Uh, in different cult and religion, we say what? Man, nature, and the God. These are the three aspects we talk about. I find that this word is separate from me. I'm being an individual, and then there is something above. Yes, individual consciousness, universal consciousness, and supreme consciousness. It builds a harmonious relationship. Harmonious relationship. Look back again and you think in that way. Studying Eastern wisdom to study yourself. You are studying yourself. You are studying your behavior, your attitude. Is this attitude desire based, ego based? It is going to cause a sin to me. Oh, let me drop it. So I'm being an obstinate, you are committing a sin. Another way my master used to say, I still remember, that you are not capable enough to discharge a particular duty, and I'm constantly insisting you to perform that duty. And I don't realize that this guy is not capable. Delusion here, not there. And then I say, you are not interested in doing it, you are not discharging your duty, you are not working rightly. Do you not? I think you understand that. But it is my duty, it is my business, it is my profession, it is my personal. Let me do. Finish. You are insisting every day, you are getting agitated, 1 month of hesitation, and 1 hour. Let me do it myself. at home also. Relationship with people. Do you see again? And are you able to think individual, universal, and supreme? So to invoke that grace, I am not committing a sin, but I know that I can perform this work, so let me do it. If I cannot perform, let me perform. Let me understand and perform. Whatever you say something, it goes into my head. I contemplate and reflect on it. Maybe I think 2.5 years ago, David told me that you have to check your internet connection, Wi Fi. Then Dennis guided me. And now hardly the day goes when I check every day that my speed is okay. I learned it. I'm just giving one example. It is possible. No, I cannot cook any food, remain hungry for 3 days, then I will say that, you cannot cook your food. Exceptions are there. Terry is an exception, but Terry can help, guide, inspire her assistant to do it. Second step. Third step, third step, what we say, I have to drop it. All the responsibility goes to the universal consciousness. That universal consciousness consists of the part in me, which is my intellect, part in me, which is my mind, which is my body, which is my sense organs. Is there any problem? Logically, rationally, there is no problem. I think in that way. Why? To get rid of the pleasure based desire, to get rid of my ego, to enter into the higher spiritual consciousness. So the master is laying a foundation. Existence. What it takes to think that eyes are seeing you, I am not seeing you. My mind is processing the information through the eyes of the name and the form I speak. You are Christina, you are Dennis, you are Webhaven, you are Love. So internally, I remind my mind again and again, don't create a false I in your life. That prepares a foundation for renouncing desire prompted activities. My all activities should be either need based, knowledge based. Knowledge based desire. I want to excel. I want to speak much better. Let me talk on this topic. Let me give you the best. Let me have that intention. Leave aside everything. Fourth step. Fourth step. You see, you have to, you have to vet, you know, you have to marry with these 8 steps to help you. So what happens in the fifth step? The mind is not going to leave you that crazy mind, that delusion, that pleasure based desires, past impressions will force you. Sometime we will commit a mistake. Oh, it's okay, let it happen. You recognize the mistake and move ahead. So that is what is uprooting the accumulated sins. Again, I'm seeing that, accumulated sin. I told you that I am responsible for unfavorable condition in my life, whether it is an event, whether it is a relationship, whether it is anything. I am responsible for creating that. Why I am responsible? I may be living at a lower level of consciousness. Nature wants me to rise up. So when I rise in higher consciousness, my sin is gone. It will help you. So sense causes again the mental impurities. You dissolve the unfavorable condition. Day before, no, yesterday? No, on Tuesday, at least for 3 and 4 hours, there was an outage for my connection. So I have to drop the uh, session. Okay, it's okay. Sixth is recognize the defects in the worldly desire. That is, that helps you to rise in little higher level of awareness. What is saying? We constantly realize the pleasures in the worldly desire. I lose control. I become unconscious taking couple of the drinks. For example, it doesn't mean whether you drink or not, it has nothing. I should not become unconscious. I have to recognize the defects of the worldly desires. I will be happy. Okay, so happiness is expressed from inside doing this activity. Sixth. Seventh, strengthening. Huh? Strengthening now comes, what happens? Now the mind is fairly empty. You wake up in the morning, you will remind, I have to do the Shanti mantra. You will not forget. Otherwise, obsession based desire, pleasure based desire, past impressions. You wake up in the morning and you don't have a good relationship, for example, with your son or daughter. You wake up in the morning and the somewhere from the past impression returns and you sit down and you start thinking. You are not thinking, you are crazy. You have created the unfavorable condition. Our level of awareness goes up. So the seventh step says now you have a natural desire to know the real self. And that remains all the time during your journey of life. Rather than I've given you simple mathematical calculations, how many times you get into anxiety, little bit upset. Sometimes we get upset internally, looking at the honey, oh, she doesn't understand. Well, leave it. So I'm already into anxiety. Sometimes I don't express, sometimes I express. It used to happen to me also. Now it's not. So you see that you are peeling that covering of the delusion which was on your mind. So the master in the eighth step says beautifully, leave your home. But the leave your home does not mean that you actually leave the home. You have left the home of sin, so you are no longer a sinner. Don't go to any religious places, they will make you confess and you will increase your sin. It's not required. It's an unfavorable condition. Moment you feel anxious, you are a sinner. Simple. So I have to contemplate and reflect and get rid of it. Get rid of it. Simple definition and very powerful. If I becoming an egoist, obviously you don't agree, you have a lot of differences, so I create unfavorable condition in my life. That is also a sin. So the master says, you leave home of the sinners, pleasure-based desire. That is his meaning of. It was telling someone, oh yes, in the Dennis was translating that session. What's the difference between monastery and a big palace? What is the difference? Elon Musk has a big mansion. What's the difference between the big mansion and a monastery? Bricks are the same. Rooms are maybe larger or smaller. Your activities, your attitude. Do you see? Your attitude. Attitude. Here is my bedroom. Me and my honey sleeps there. Mansion. Here is a meditation room. You leave your home. So leave your home means that you have changed your mindset. Yeah. I just gave one example. I think I don't want to go in detail so you can understand. Here is here is what I have seen in New Jersey to one guy. So half of his wall was full of uh, wine bottles. He told me this wine is from 1925, this is from 1932. That is mentioned. Simple understanding. Otherwise, the place has no value. It is it is you. You take your home as a monastery, it will work. That is what the master is saying. Leave your home. So leave the home of pleasure-based desire, the sins. Otherwise, normally people say, that house in which I was living is totally inauspicious. Because of you, you are living there. You are living. It has nothing to do with any place. Don't fall into those religious statements. It has nothing to do with it. How can the consciousness be polluted? Do you see that? It might have eased the burden, lot of burden which you have created in your life. Wherever your consciousness is there, real self is there. My perception makes it inauspicious. A lot of people in New Jersey used to tell me that, you see that, I get a lot of stress at the workplace, and I'm very happy at my home, my honey and everything. Pleasure-based desire at home. Pleasure-based desire is not present at the workplace. So obviously, you will be. But I normally in the beginning I say, "Oh, can you tell me the you have an earth beneath your home?" Oh yes. So what about your workplace? Is there any different earth beneath your workplace, under your workplace? Why are you asking me? Are you crazy? It's the same. No, I was thinking that why the workplace gives you the stress. The burden of the workplace and burden of your home is carried by the same earth. Are you getting it? The last is very important. I have to communicate to my mind the way I communicated to you today. to change your entire perspective of life. You have to communicate. You have to start communicating first with you, and then you communicate with the people around you. Don't start teaching them, especially around you. Those who are little far away, you can definitely educate them. They will not listen to you. Why? Because they have seen all your past impressions, your behavior, your attitude. It will take some time. Don't get frustrated if you start teaching them and you are frustrated. No, don't teach them. Even if your son is doing something, oh, you're doing great. Yeah, finished. Because you're not going to listen to me. Oh, you're doing great. Gradually, when your behavior, your attitude, people will start noticing. The neighbors and the friends will tell, oh, you have changed a lot. Your kids will discover that you have changed a lot. I don't want to tell you that my relation, my son in law taught my daughter, no, he is a different guy. And that impressed her. Never forget about it, Stephen. Forget about teaching your daughter and son. No, you're doing good. But yes, far off. Educate. Why educate? Because you will repeat the same principles in your life. It is going to help you. Don't forget these 8 steps because I will remind you again and again, and then we will go to the next step in our session. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. And place, position, and place, position, and posture. And then being comfortable. Being comfortable, think of being comfortable. Being carefree. I'm not saying all these are indirectly or indirectly related to these 8 steps to help you grow professionally, personally, and whatever you want to say. Being carefree. Can you think of anything that you remember, my friends? And if you remember, apply it. You just think it will happen. That very thinking, why thinking? Thinking is a product of knowledge. So you are allowing your mind to move into that knowledge. And now comes, do you remember what comes? That is why I picked up that topic of individual consciousness, universal. So there is some element, of universal, and there is some element of individual. There is some presence of the supreme consciousness. Sixth neighbor, first neighbor, word outside. Why we say it as universal consciousness? The world of people, events, things. So I simply become aware. One thing is very clear that nothing is me and mine in this. Fifth neighbor is the body. Our masters believes that first we should get rid of what we are not. Why? Gradually and progressively, you are dropping your delusion, suffering, anxiety, duality, conflict. So, body, no identification. Third neighbor is the energy. I discussed in detail it is hunger and the thirst. Obviously, need based desire, mind comes in between. It says pleasure based desire. Fourth is the mind. Fourth, neighbor. I'm stressing. You stress in your head again and again. One day you sit down and you say how it is a neighbor, in what way it is a neighbor. You contemplate and reflect. Fifth neighbor is the intellect, and the I thought that causes this I-ness. So one master says ego is a problem. Beyond ego, you are awakened. Transcend ego, you are awakened. So other master says transcend the mind, you are awakened. Same thing. Transcend the body, you are awakened. So there are different expressions of the same ignorance. And the sixth that causes, that is a cumulative presence of the five neighbors, causal body. Beyond that, let me remind. First, I reminded that what I am not, very important journey. Buddha says the world is suffering. So he proves that you are suffering because of the. And then he says, now there is nothingness. So we say there is something because we have to become a strong seeker. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Again, instantly your mind repeats the thought and goes inside. Oh, happiness is within. Okay, so if I, as a human being, have the happiness, it means all human beings? Yes. But my mind says, I hate that guy, but he is of the nature of happiness also. And then when you look at the mind, you will see it is. It is, I am, we are selfish because we want to awaken to the real self. Think in that way. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Peace. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Find out how many steps are related to this. Let may there be completeness and wholeness in all. Pleasure based desire, I'm incomplete. I'm suffering, I'm incomplete. I have a lot of expectations from you, I'm incomplete. You see, all how many steps are related to this? I'm just making you aware. That's why, a consistent listening and learning is required. Why? Because the teacher opens up. This makes you aware. Oh, this also can be related. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. At a higher level of awareness, the eighth step is related to it. How come? What is that step? Leave your home. So come on, you leave your home and you go for a retreat to a monastery. And in the monastery, we become more humble. We are not humble at our home. Oh, I understand, but I don't say anything. And now the time has come. Look inside the forehead, in the space. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Now you are building a monastery. Monastery. You are going into the monastery. And start breathing long, deep, and the hissing breath into the rib cage. Long, deep, and the hissing breath. You see, you have to understand how I translate the practice with whatever we discuss in the very beginning. You're making your mind a monastery. When we go to the monastery, we become so humble, so soft. But the accumulated impressions lives inside. That needs to be dissolved. And that is why we are doing this step. Continue breathing. I told you that this breathing is not the fire breath or breath of fire. No fast expulsion. The rhythm of the inhalation and exhalation should remain the same, and continuous dropping of the Om Shanti. You are converting your home into a monastery. That home, previous home, was the crazy mind. New home is the peaceful mind. Long, deep, and hissing breath into the rib cage. Om Shanti continues in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. What happens? You're leaving your home. Huh? Now do nothing. Remain as you are. Be aware of the flow of the breath. Be aware of the flow of breath. I'm translating, just imagine. You have gone into a retreat to a monastery. Oh, you become so humble. That gives you the kind of a freshness and a calmness. It is not the monastery which gives you the freshness and calmness. That non-living monastery. What? It is my mind. That is the only job of these active steps. Nothing more than that. You're aware of the flow of the breath. Do you remember? Not only you're aware of the flow of the breath, but you are also aware of the flow, whether these two flows are equal or not. You see, just there is nothing outside. We refer outside because the mind has created lot of delusions. Ultimate goal is to find, recognize, and realize the real self. Can we remain constantly aware of the breath, the flow of the breath? I use the word here at the same time you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So, in that state, we can follow any step, it works. Now, start breathing deep, silent, slow. No noise of the breath should be there as you inhale, moving the mind, moving the mind from the top of the head to the tailbone, and you are singing loudly in your mind. Om Shanti. And as you exhale, moving the mind from the tailbone to the top of the head. Om Shanti. Normally, we feel that I'm breathing or I'm doing the mantra. That is why it is bringing the result. Fundamentally, we are dropping the delusion. We move into a higher awareness that brings the experiences. And these experiences are important, whether you have a color or vision, etc. But we let them come, let them go. So we understand, yes, mind is getting absorbed. That is okay. Continue deep, silent, slow breath. Body is still. You are dropping Om Shanti with every breath going in and out while moving the mind on the spine. It is like, it is like a driving on the highway. I told you before, I used to repeat a lot. Shanti. Because your breath is very deep, silent, and slow. Say, for example, that if your one breath in and out takes about 15 seconds, you are only dropping four breaths in a minute. Science also says that you have a parasympathetic dominance, but the mind has to be engaged there. So we are engaging the mind with Om Shanti, moving the mind with the breath inside and outside in the spine. So that also helps. Our goal is to get this mind absorbed deeper within. Now leave this, move the mind inside the key of your heart. Visualize the triangle of any color, moving the mind on each side of a triangle, dropping Om Shanti, finding the sync. Once you find the sync, what you do? You move the mind again inside the cave of your heart. Mind seemingly stops singing Om. That Om singing is to pushing the mind as deep as possible. Shanti. After that, you're not doing anything. Why existence does nothing. If the real self does something, it will change. It will also get tired. You see, the consciousness doesn't. Mm. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. How are you, Stephen?
Sir, thank you very much. Um, I'm recognizing the importance of applying the principles of Eastern wisdom from the moment that I wake up to the time that I go to sleep, and the awareness level continues to rise. I've embraced these first 8 steps. Actually, struggled with number 8 because all along leaving your home, I was like, that's just not realistic and whatever it is, and I was like, maybe there's more to it, because I always know that, the Eastern wisdom you always teach is, it's not what you're saying, it's what you're trying to get us to think about. And I embraced the concept of leaving the home, which now after today's lesson has been clear that leaving the home to me is now leaving the past impressions, leaving the way things used to be, leaving everything that we've been taught, and applying this Eastern wisdom to it. And it's like another one of those aha moments. So thank you. And it led to a very quiet, settled meditation that was very enjoyable. So thank you.
Very good. Yes, yes, we have a lot of the doubt leave. But one day, Stephen, we both have to leave this home also. Do whatever you cannot escape from that truth also. But at present we are a seeker, so now I see the home as a monastery. That is the real meaning of living the home. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the session and for the reminder that everything is about perception, and perception changes. Changing the perception changes everything, and that everything actually lives in my mind. So there is no really external or internal. It's all relatively external, and in fact, everything is in one place. Everything we experience, the experience of the outside world or experience inside, it all happens in one place. Uh, and the whole world lives in that place also, and that place is the mind.
That
Uh,
place is the
yes, and my meditation was very peaceful, and um, I think more thoughtless than usual. Thank you.
beautiful. Beautiful. You see, the two people have experienced, shared their experiences. So one mind was whether how to leave the home, and then became clear that that is also a perception. So where the Dennis is directly says it is a perception. What is perception? It is an understanding, it is knowledge, it is awareness. What is that awareness? Self-awareness. So our masters beautifully narrated these because it is understood by consistent listening and learning. You see that Indians are aware of it, so they have related the third eye with reference to the three rivers. So the two rivers are visible. We say Ganges River and Yamuna. The third river is the Saraswati. And the word Saraswati means the knowledge, perception, awareness. It has nothing to that you go to the Ganges River and all your sins will be washed away. Yes, they get washed away. But the moment you return to the bank of a river, sins are waiting. They will enter into you. That is why these 8 steps are there. Beautifully said. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. Um, I'm realizing that the lessons are we're going through a process of uncovering and stripping away the layers to get down to the core, and then
Yeah.
you're providing the tools to kind of rebuild back our world, I guess, with the right tools. So I'm enjoying that journey. Meditation was very deep, quiet, peaceful. Thank you.
Yes, yes, you're right. Going to the level. You say, what the heck, David, you are doing? Now I become aware of my own state of the mind. That helps me to go within. Sorry, David. You see that? That helps me. Again, it's a matter of perception. It's knowledge. It's all we are all talking of the consciousness, nothing more than that. But we have to understand, we have to undergo this process to reach there. It cannot be reached directly. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. I really like the concept of working on the monastery and the monastery of the mind and the monastery of the individual consciousness, the universal and the supreme. Just bringing
Yes.
that monastery with us everywhere we go.
Yes.
So I really like that a lot.
That's a beautiful yes. It just prompted my mind, then I started thinking about it. It came, yeah, yeah. And you are right. The monastery in which the mind lives, in the home in which the mind lives, or the mind itself is the monastery. And that will make many things clear. My master used to say that when you come to me, you touch my feet, you prostrate. Do you also prostrate at home? Mentally or emotionally? No. How dare you? That is the problem. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. Today, the idea of self-absorption became clearer because we can get so absorbed on everything
Good.
external, right? And the true absorption, because I heard today, go deeper within so that you can carry that out into the world. Yeah.
Yeah. You remain absorbed into that state and then look at your son. All the problems are gone. So we have to, monastery should be inside, and then everyone related to me is happy. How are you, Terry?
The other day, you said that existence will force you to leave your home
Yeah.
if you don't. I think that is what happened to me. I have
You good?
already, I have been kicked out of my
I'm
home.
very happy.
what can I do? I can be
Good.
up, yeah, accept it or
Okay,
not.
that is the sense of contentment. Yeah. Yes. What?
But don't always have it, the contentment.
That very existence is the supreme consciousness. One part is the universal, the other part is the individual.
Mhm.
When, as a seeker, I understand. But when I realize the real self, I see that all are simple manifestation. Even this individual has no role to play. It is being governed by this. This individual mind is governed by the cosmic mind. No, no, I am more intelligent. If you say that, okay, you're more intelligent. Okay, change your waking and sleep and dream state.
Oh. Mm.
We are governed by the cosmic mind.
Mm.
I cannot sleep for 2 days, but on the third day, cosmic mind says, now fall into sleep.
Okay.
Do you see the laws of the nature? That is why Master says individual, universal, supreme consciousness. We'll talk about it. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Mind is calm today, and the understanding is that like the suffering that I see in the world is actually not there. It is the impure state of the mind, and so as the peace, which I say that the calmness and the peace, which is coming from the outside thing, it is not from coming from the outside thing. It is still again the pure state of the mind from where it is
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, yeah. And that is our monastery.
Hmm.
So you have to choose whether you are living in a home or a monastery, Stephen. I'm so happy you love your home so much. And how are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत पीसफुल था सर। और जैसे माइंड है उसको मिनिस्ट्री बनानी है तो उसकी सफाई भी बहुत जरूरी है।
Yeah, yeah.
तो डिसिप्लिन बहुत चाहिए उसके लिए।
Yes, that is why these 8 steps. What she says that if I have to make my mind a monastery, it demands a lot of preparation. And these 8 steps are going to help me to convert home into a monastery. Don't worry, we have to, after once we reach to the, I would say, 14th or 15th step, we will make this home, this body, our monastery. Then you see what happens. That is all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
थैंक यू
Thank
सर।
you.
Namaste.
Thank